You've been told real estate is the safest path to wealth. That location is everything. That you make your money when you buy. For the last 50 years, these were the rules, the gospel of property investing. You've been told fortunes are built on gut feelings, pounding the pavement, and finding that one diamond in the rough. Well, that's all dead. While most investors are still playing by an old rulebook, a quiet revolution is happening right under their feet. Advanced artificial intelligence is bulldozing the entire industry, and from the rubble, it's building a new generation of real estate fortunes. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the three unstoppable AI trends that are rebuilding this industry, and how you can use them to build your own empire. The foundation of traditional real estate investing was built on a simple premise: having better information. The person with the better connections, the deeper market knowledge, the sharper gut feeling, they would win. But what happens when that information advantage gets completely obliterated? What happens when a machine can learn more about a market in 3 seconds than a human can in a lifetime? This isn't some far off prediction. It's happening right now. The real estate industry as we knew it is a relic. Its methods are inefficient, its data is slow, and its reliance on human intuition is now its greatest liability. Sticking to the old ways in this new era isn't just leaving money on the table. It's like trying to navigate a superhighway blindfolded. Let's be brutally honest about the old world of real estate. It was a world defined by three massive, unavoidable pain points. First, the agonizingly slow pace of data. For decades, investors made million-dollar decisions based on information that was already old news. They relied on quarterly reports, sales comps from months ago, and government data that was updated once a decade. Can you imagine a stock trader trying to get rich by only looking at last year's closing prices? It's absurd. Yet, this was standard practice in real estate. You'd hear about a neighborhood boom only after prices had already skyrocketed, leaving you a step behind. That information lag is no longer just an inconvenience. In a world of real-time data, it's a fatal flaw. Second, the gut feeling fallacy. We all love the story of the legendary investor who just knew a neighborhood was going to pop. We romanticize this feel for the market. But what is a gut feeling, really? It's a subconscious cocktail of personal experience, scattered anecdotes, and a heavy dose of confirmation bias. It's a gamble. And while that gamble might have paid off in a slow-moving market, today's environment is more like a hurricane. Relying on your gut is like using a rusty compass instead of a direct satellite feed. The market forces are too complex. A gut feeling can't connect the dots between new zoning laws, local hiring trends, and shifts in social media chatter. It's an analog tool in a digital world, and it's getting investors crushed. And third, the soul-crushing manual grind. Let's face it, the reality for most investors has been a life of endless, repetitive work. Hours spent scrolling through listings, days spent driving for dollars, hoping to spot a distressed property, weekends lost digging through dusty courthouse records. And after all that, if you got lucky and found a potential deal, you'd then spend hours plugging numbers into a clunky spreadsheet, praying your calculations were right. This manual process creates a hard ceiling on your potential. One person can only analyze, 5 or 10 deals a week with any real depth. That's not a business model. It's a hamster wheel. It doesn't scale. It just burns you out. All the while, the big institutional players were already using better data and tools to scoop up the best deals before they even hit the market. The consequence of clinging to this old world is stark. You're operating with a massive handicap. You're exposed to risks you can't see and missing opportunities hiding in plain sight. The game isn't fair. But that's about to change, because the same force that made the old way obsolete is now giving the individual investor the power to fight back. The first and most powerful pillar of this new real estate empire is AI-powered market prediction. Forget looking at what a market did yesterday. This is about understanding, with incredible accuracy, what a market will likely do tomorrow. The old way was to look at comps, what the house next door sold for 6 months ago. That's like driving while looking only in your rearview mirror. An AI model, on the other hand, is like a GPS with real-time traffic, weather, and satellite data, all showing you the fastest route forward. It doesn't just look at past sales, it ingests everything. These new prediction engines start with the basics: historical sales, tax records, building permits. But that's just the appetizer. AI platforms now consume a flood of alternative data in real time. They analyze economic indicators like GDP growth and local employment data. They track demographic shifts by analyzing moving van data, postal service change of address records, and even anonymized cell phone data to see where people are moving. It gets even more granular. These AIs scan the internet for signals the old guard could never see. They analyze analyze Google search trends. Is there a spike in searches for best schools in Scottsdale or moving to Boise? They monitor social media sentiment. Are people in local Facebook groups excited about a new park, or are they complaining about rising crime? They scrape job listings. If a major company is quietly hiring hundreds of engineers in a smaller city, the AI knows a demand shock is coming long before it's announced in the press. Some systems even use satellite imagery. They can literally see the progress of new construction, count cars in a shopping center parking lot to gauge economic activity, or analyze rooftop conditions across a neighborhood to predict levels of homeowner distress. But the real magic isn't just gathering the data, it's how machine learning connects the dots. An AI's brain is designed to find non obvious correlations a human would never spot. For example, an AI might find a hyper specific profitable pattern that when a specific chain of organic grocery stores opens within 1.5 miles of a park that recently installed a new splash pad, single family homes with 3 or more bedrooms in that zip code tend to significantly outperform the market over the following 24 months. It finds these profitable niches that are invisible to the naked eye. Think about the boom in cities like Austin, Texas. Everyone knew Austin was growing, but an AI could have signaled which specific blocks were poised for explosive growth years earlier by correlating software job postings with an increase in building permits for coffee shops and a rise in Google searches for best breakfast tacos. That's the level of micro location insight that's now possible. Credible platforms are already offering this power to investors. Tools like House Canary and its Canary AI platform provide sophisticated market forecasting, moving far beyond simple valuations. They identify properties likely to come on the market by analyzing seller intent signals and behavioral insights, giving users a critical head start. Similarly, platforms like Reonomy and Skyline AI are doing this for commercial real estate, using machine learning to score properties on their future potential. This is a complete paradigm shift. The question is no longer, where is the market hot right now? The question is, where will the market be hot 18 months from now? The AI is getting closer to the answer every day. It's replacing guesswork with data-driven strategy, and it's the foundation upon which new real estate fortunes will be built. Once you know where to invest, the next big challenge is finding what to invest in. Finding good deals is the lifeblood of an investor, and it's always been the most time-consuming part of the business. The second pillar of the AI rebuilt industry completely automates this process. It's a 24/7, tireless, automated deal-finding machine. For the individual investor, deal flow is often the biggest bottleneck. The manual grind is fundamentally unscalable. The AI approach isn't just a faster version of this, it's a completely different and superior model. It's about uncovering off-market opportunities and, most critically, underwriting them instantly. It starts with scraping data on an unimaginable scale. Imagine 1,000 digital assistants scouring the entire internet for you every second of every day. These AIs pull from the MLS, Zillow, Redfin, for sale by owner sites, foreclosure auctions, and public records. They're even trained to spot distress and motivation, scanning property descriptions for keywords like TLC, motivated seller, or must sell. But finding a lead is just step one. Where the AI becomes truly revolutionary is in the next phase, instant underwriting. The moment an AI flags a property that meets your criteria, it kicks into overdrive. It automatically pulls the property's tax records, sales history, and local zoning info. It then cross-references this with its market prediction data, the rental rates and appreciation forecasts we just talked about. All of this data is then instantly plugged into your predefined investment model. Are you a BRRRR investor, a flipper, a buy and hold landlord? You set your exact criteria once. For example, I want a 3-bed, 2-bath, single-family home in these 5 zip codes under $450,000 that only needs cosmetic work and projects at least a 10% cash-on-cash return as a rental. The AI then does the work. It runs the numbers on thousands of properties and only alerts you when it finds a match. You don't get a list of 100 maybes. You get a notification on your phone with the 3 properties listed in the last 48 hours that perfectly match your investment thesis, complete with a pre-populated financial analysis. This is what turns investing from a job of searching into an act of decision-making. Tools like Cactus and Intel CRE are being built for this, automating financial modeling to help investors underwrite deals in minutes, not days. And this isn't just for houses. AI can analyze complex commercial real estate documents like rent rolls in seconds, a task that used to take junior analysts days. This tech is even creating new investment avenues. The demand for data centers is exploding, driven by AI itself. The global data center market is projected to reach a staggering $4 trillion by 2030, with capacity expected to grow by 177% in that time. Artificial intelligence models are the primary tool used to identify the optimal locations for these specialized buildings, analyzing power grids and infrastructure in ways that were previously impossible. The automated deal finding machine changes the game. It eliminates the grunt work and allows an individual with a laptop to have the analytical power of a massive hedge fund, finding and vetting deals with incredible speed and precision. Finding the perfect deal is a huge win, but it's only half the battle. You still have to market the property, find a buyer or tenant, and manage the asset efficiently. This is where the third pillar of the AI empire comes in, the robotic sales and management force. It's an army of automated assistants that handles marketing, communication, and operations, allowing you to scale your portfolio without scaling your workload. Let's start with marketing. In the old world, you'd write one property description, take one set of photos, and blast it everywhere. AI makes that look archaic. Today, a generative AI can write a dozen different descriptions for a single property in seconds. One version might target a young family, highlighting the great school district and backyard. Another could target a professional couple, emphasizing the home office and modern kitchen. The initial point of contact is also being automated. Instead of an agent being tied up answering the same basic questions over and over, AI-powered chatbots can handle the vast majority of initial inquiries 24/7. These aren't the clunky bots of 5 years ago. Modern AI assistants can answer nuanced questions, pre-qualify leads, schedule viewings, and provide virtual tours. This frees up human agents to focus on high-intent clients who are ready to make a move. The revolution continues into property management. Artificial intelligence-powered platforms can handle automated rent collection, send reminders, and process late fees. Maintenance requests are being streamlined. A tenant can text a photo of a leaking faucet to an AI assistant. The AI uses image recognition to identify the problem, create a work order, and automatically contact a pre-approved plumber. Even better is predictive maintenance. By integrating AI with smart home sensors, a property can now tell you it needs help. A sensor on an HVAC unit can detect subtle changes that signal it's about to fail. The AI gets this data and schedules a technician to service the unit before it breaks down, saving you thousands in emergency repairs. And this wave of automation is paving the way for the ultimate evolution in property ownership, tokenization. Paired with blockchain technology, this allows for fractional ownership of real estate. The AI can manage the complex smart contracts that govern the property, automatically collecting rent and distributing profits to hundreds of token holders around the world. You no longer need a massive down payment to invest. You could buy a $100 token representing a share of a Miami condo, all managed seamlessly by AI. This robotic sales and management force closes the loop, allowing you to not only find and buy assets efficiently, but to manage and monetize them at a scale that was once unthinkable for an individual investor. What we've talked about isn't science fiction. It's the new reality of real estate, and it's accelerating. A Morgan Stanley report projects that AI will drive over $34 billion in efficiency gains for the industry by 2030. We're in the middle of a fundamental shift. Looking ahead, the trends are clear. We'll see the rise of micro-location investing as the new standard, where capital flows to specific blocks or even specific buildings that AI identifies as having the highest growth potential. Static ROI calculations will be replaced by dynamic, real-time yield scores that constantly update based on new market signals. For the individual investor, this is both a threat and a massive opportunity. The threat is for those who refuse to adapt. If you stick with the old rules and gut feelings, you'll be systematically outmaneuvered by an opponent that's faster, smarter, and better informed. But the opportunity is immense. For those who learn to leverage these AI tools, the playing field has been leveled. You no longer need to be a massive institution to access world-class analytics. You no longer need a huge team to manage a large portfolio. AI empowers the individual to operate with the sophistication and scale of a global firm. It allows you to build a real estate empire from your laptop. This isn't a fad. This is the new industrial revolution for real estate. The choice is simple: adapt or become a relic of a dead industry. We've covered the three pillars of the new real estate empire. First, AI-powered market prediction, which lets you see the future of the market. Second, the automated deal-finding machine, which works 24/7 to bring you perfectly matched investment opportunities. And third, the robotic sales and management force, which automates operations so you can scale without limits. The old world of real estate is truly gone. The rules that built the fortunes of the past are now obsolete. But for those who understand the new rules and are willing to embrace artificial intelligence, this is the single greatest opportunity to build a real estate fortune in our lifetime. This isn't about technology replacing investors, it's about technology empowering them. To show you just how powerful this is, I've created a free guide called The Top 5 AI Prompts for Real Estate Analysis. In it, I share the exact prompts you can use in AI tools right now to analyze your local market, identify undervalued properties, and even generate compelling marketing copy. It's your first step in building your own AI powered real estate empire. Click the link in the description below to download the guide for free. Don't get left behind. Step into the new age of real estate.